Big Book Theatre Company, Just a Rose, Take 2. Once upon a time, God wanted to give something special to his children, Steve and Denise. So he gave each of them a gift box with a surprise inside. Steve was pretty excited. He tried to peek through the wrapping, but couldn't tell what was inside. He shook the package to see if he could figure out what was inside. Finally, he ripped the package open, and inside was a red rose. Denise was also very curious about her present. She balanced it on her head to see if it was heavy. It wasn't. She tossed it in the air to see if it would break. It didn't. Finally, she too ripped open a package, and inside was a pink rose. God spoke to his children. For years, guys and girls have been very confused about each other. They needed a special gift, a present from me to show how much I value them. So I gave them their sexuality. Your roses, Steve and Denise, are symbols of that sexuality. Treasure them and care for them so that when you marry, you have a special gift to give to your husband or wife for the rest of your life. So Steve and Denise hid their roses in safe places. Time passed. Denise met quite a few guys. Sometimes she'd get other girls to go out on group dates with her and the other guys. They'd usually go out and eat. And then to a movie. Or dancing. All in all, Denise and the girls had a pretty good time. Steve spent a lot of time with girls. Sometimes he'd get a group of guys together and they'd serenade the girls while kneeling on one knee. Hello. 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 Other times the guys would try to show off for the girls by playing basketball. Or football. Or a musical instrument. The girls always oohed and ahed appreciatively. The girls especially liked it when Steve and the guys would invite them to the mall.
To the mall.
They'd all go window shopping.
Why, I think I'd like to buy this window.
Play video games. And eat onion rings in the food court.
That's one good onion ring.
All in all, it was a pretty fun experience. Then one day, Steve picked out a special girl from among the other girls. They started going out, and pretty soon were seeing each other often. They dated for several months, and all the guys, girls, and Denise whispered to one another that Steve and this girl would get married. Once, they were out on a date. This girl asked Steve if he would give her his rose. Steve was tempted, but he remembered what God had said about saving it for his wife. So he refused. The girl cried and threw a fit, but still Steve refused. That night, Steve and the girl broke up. The next day, all the girls were whispering about Steve. Some said he was gay. Others said he was just stupid. The guys all laughed at him. Steve felt like crawling into a hole. But he knew he'd done the right thing. Meanwhile, Denise picked out a certain special guy from among the other guys. They dated for several months too. Then Denise's boyfriend asked her for her rose. At first he refused, but he seemed so hurt and sad that she felt sorry for him. After all, she thought, he loves me and will probably get married someday, so she gave in. He took the rose out of the box and accidentally bent the stem. Before long, all he cared about was Denise's rose. He rarely talked with her anymore. They broke up during their senior year because the guy found someone new. In time, other guys asked for Denise's rose too. Some pulled off a few petals. Others bent the stem. Time passed, and Denise began to long for her rose to be new like it once was. But try as she might, she couldn't get a rose to look as it had when God gave it to her. Then she started going out with Steve. They dated for some time, but Steve never asked for her rose, even though she expected him to. Finally, the day came when they walked down the aisle to be married. For a wedding present, Steve gave Denise his rose. He was proud he kept it in such good condition for her. How do you think Denise felt when she gave Steve her rose? The end. Yeah, excellent. Good.